Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender's Friday. Congratulations, everybody. We made it through the week, August 15th, 2025. So we're just going to take a quick zoom around here in SPX and SPY, and we'll look at the VIX on the lower time frame. The important thing about today is to just notice the shenanigans. There's two things either happening on SPX and SPY. So one is that they're diverging and there's a truncation of SPY did not reach a new high today, all right, at the open. SPX did. That leads me to believe that there's just one more little high to go in SPY, but I can't, nothing's 100%. That could be truncated, and it could just make a lower high, with the fifth wave being a lower high, which is very rare. So those are the two scenarios, and it wouldn't surprise me that at the end of the day here, we kind of jumped up a little bit to go get those new highs, and going into Monday and Tuesday looking for some sort of reversal off of that. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at on the lower time frames, and we're going to look at these indicators. And so in other words, I wasn't able to add on any puts. I still could, because we're swinging, but I like that new entry point with the new high there on SPY. And so if we get that, then I'll add some puts on there. But we had a great play on the setup. We have a great setup on Lulu here today. So if you're interested, first of all, in getting these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube supporter. It's 99 cents per month. And it comes with the Discord and the trade alerts. You would have got all those today. And then I made an extra video for the $4.99 a month members to show the setup and what targets we're looking for, and also the SPX update as well. Okay, so let's dive into it. We have SPX on the daily time frame. Looking at those again, there's a just slight high. I know you can adjust these to whatever wicks and bodies there. Some people already have this high touching there, but it's ascending, so you can still eke out a new high and form a top there if you have those highs right there. So a couple different ways you could draw it. Here's your moving averages above the 8, above the 20. So momentum's up, trend is up. McClellan oscillator still falling as we eked out a new high in SPX. We're diverging, so we have another divergence right here today. Okay, SPY does not have that. Just keep that in mind in the analysis. So in order for this to happen on SPY, it needs to make a new high. RSI, slow stoke giving us an early sell signal, rolling over, but we need it to cross that 80. Keeping an eye on that. We want to see this histogram red. All right, this DMARC, slowly but surely, are we going to get that 9 count? We are at the 8. If we can eke out or just stay in this range until Monday, we'll have another, we'll have a 13.9 sell setup there. So getting so close. Again, I was looking for a lower high here, but we eked out a new high, and that's fine. That's another trade setup for us. All right, let's awesome oscillator. Same thing. Nothing's changed here. SPY. Get that money flow. Now, we didn't make a new high here. Again, if we do, that's great. But money's flowing out either way. So I want to see that new high. Right here we have a divergence. I did not show that. So right here we already had the divergence, but we'd show another weak divergence if we made a new high here again. Bollinger Band, sell setup again today. LA oscillator, nothing to see here. Same thing. VIX. VIX made its low already on the ideal low a couple days ago. and making a higher low at this point. We're going to look for that to break out any time now. Let's go to, and you know, I explained in the members video also that there's other reasons why I think that SPY still could make that new high, and we were talking about that yesterday too. It has to hold this low here. I know that you could still argue that this is a flat pattern if it goes a little bit lower, but it's less likely when the trend breaks. You just start to lose a little bit of odds. I think it's more likely that this will break to the upside just because of market structure. And we talked about Tesla being a flat pattern. IWM could still be a flat pattern. You can get some bounces off of these moves here, and that would help this situation out to get our new entries. And again, we made that high here and open up just below, I think 10 cents below there. And we're already at the upper end of the options expected move on SPY. So it'd be a safe place for price to make it back up here by the end of the day there. Okay. With the market structure, I'll go through the indicators in 1 second. With the market structure, we're looking at 3-wave moves. All right. So this is a 3-wave move for 1. And now in hindsight, I think this is a 1 into a 2, 3-wave move up for a 3. Got our 4 right there, ABC, flat pattern. And then we're making a higher low right here for an A, B, C, however high that goes, into a wave 5. So that would make total sense that this still has an ABC to finish wave 5 here. All right. And I can't, like I said yesterday, I couldn't really, this is too long here for this to be the third wave. So it doesn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense. And I couldn't get any other finishing structure off of this high. But since SPX did make a new high right here, this could be a truncated fifth. This could be done. You had an A, B, C in there already. Okay, so I'm still on the fence here. If it makes a new high, we add more puts. If we start to break this low, we add more puts. All right, or on any bounce after that. Hope that makes sense. And then as for the indicators, moving averages, we're breaking down from the 8, but we're holding on to the trend. That's the 20 right there. And then in the near term, again, we had our high right here. And so SPX, we already have a divergence. We already have divergence here, 3 peak. And we're kind of neutral right there, but divergence from the high on SPX, but SPY does not have that. And it will get it if we go just a little bit higher. 7, 8, just a 1 count so far. No setup here for the DMARC. Awesome oscillator, same thing. We're gonna get a negative divergence there if we make a new high. Same thing here. And the Bollinger Bands are starting to tighten up. I suppose you can call that sell signal right there, but if we make a new high, we'll push into the bands again, and you'll have your sell signal. And same thing here. I put this placeholder here yesterday in case we made that high. And so this, to me, is a clue that we're still going to make a new high, but we'll see. That will be a divergence if we do make that new high there. All right, that's all, you guys. That's all I have. Hope everything looks good here. In the Discord, we talked about KWeb. That looks really good for a basing. Lots of good stuff in the Discord. The traders there are fantastic, and I want to thank all of them once again. So we'll see you there.